Compile a series of best Noid TM moments and have them play. I'm guessing that was in reference to when I do like a BRB thing. I don't know if I'd want to do that though. Like, just have like the same like 40 clips playing anytime I go to pee. That seems like a not great one. Alright, we're working through everything. Like, I didn't want to originally make this be like a 100% playthrough, but the side quests in this are really good. I don't remember where they were. I found like that set of corpo gear on a body. I don't remember where that corpo gear is. This is right near a Ripper Dock, so we might actually take a stop in at the Ripper Dock. God, I'm just remembering, like, at the beginning of this game where I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna be, like, an 100% playthrough. And aside from, like, a couple of things that we've just kind of skipped over, and stuff that I've just been deleting.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I really am just doing a whole lot of this. I just fucked up a bunch of side missions. How'd you fuck up the side missions? Oh, look at that JPEG.
Oh, baby girl, you can't stand between my legs like that. I'm gonna make a cake batter and I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, go for it.
Introducing Alois Decan.
Alois Decan.
Gonk broke my trust and skipped town.
Man, that name fucked me up for a while.
I care about now is the data he left in NC.
Fucking Alois. Because all I think of is Black Butler Season 2. Fucking Trancy. I don't know if it's one you've done, so I don't want to say the name. That's fair. I haven't done a lot of side missions on this guy, but I do appreciate the thought. Bonk.
Best part is, normally when I make cakes, I use, like, I make it from scratch. I bought myself boxed cake, which basically just means water, oil, and egg, and I'm so excited about it.
I do want to just make actual cake at one point.
It's fun. We should make It's really easy.
So you like?
I just don't know.
Staticked out.
Oh, am I good now?
Yeah, like I lost you for like a half a second, enough to not understand a word.
Oh, I said that make the lava cakes that I made on, like, for Christmas.
Oh, yeah,
I showed you the lava cakes I made, right?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's really easy. We just have to get individual cake pans or souffle pans. Souffle pans are super easy. But you coat the pan in butter and sugar. You put like the cake, like once the batter's made, you put it in there for like 5 minutes, so the bottom gets cooked.
Have a good sleep there, Misty.
Then yeah, shove as much chocolate as you. Mom only bought dark chocolate, which I was disgusted by because I don't like dark chocolate. Yeah, I know. But you can, when I make it again at home, I want to use white chocolate.
Which is technically not real chocolate.
Which is technically not real chocolate, which is so good. How much fucking water?
So, for chat, the reason why I just started laughing maniacally there is, one time when Rachel and I were buying stuff to, you know, fiddle around and cook with, we bought like an entire brick of like 85% dark chocolate. And you're not supposed to eat that because it's incredibly dry and not sweet at all. It's very bitter because chocolate is actually supposed to be bitter. It's made sweet afterwards, and the original, like, you know, Aztec, Incan, Mayan use of cacao was usually not sweetened.
God, you use so much of bitter.
So what I did when we got it was I just cut off a huge chunk of just the most bitter dark chocolate and just ate it.
It was disgusting. Because then I tried it, like, oh, maybe it's...
It was,
Like my
it was rough.
I like my chocolate sweet.
I mean, I'm not a explicit fan of bitter, but it was good.
Am I gonna eat this entire thing of batter? Probably. Am I gonna regret it tomorrow when I'm having body issues when I look at my outfit? Yep. But that's a problem for tomorrow.
Will chocolate be incorporated into your Aztec Marines? You know, I haven't thought about how Space Marines would feel about chocolate. But I do find that extremely funny. Well, you know, like, I mean, if we're gonna be talking about it in that respect, right? Like, pre-Horus Heresy, when the Space Marine legions were all, like, at their full strength and all of the guys had, like, a hobby, and they weren't just insane, screaming lunatics and murderers, like, Ahriman had, like, a vineyard.
One could have been a chocolatier, for all you know.
Well, the big, important story guy for the Thousand Sons, Azek Ahriman, when he was, like, he was still important, but, like, when he was not a Chaos Space Marine, when he was just a guy working on Prospero on his home planet, he had a vineyard. He made wine. And apparently he was okay at it, but there was times where people tasted it and were like, this was pretty bad, man.
That's everybody, though.
But it's just, it's funny to think of these, like, transhuman supermen, and one of them being like, I made wine, and a person drinking it, and like, eh.
Like, remember when, like, I think I'm a pretty good baker. Because you've had some of my stuff. Like, but remember when I tried to make cookies and I added too much and they just turned to pancakes?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I got really sad and you tried so hard with them, so sad.
My cousin one time, when she was first learning how to bake, right? She made these cookies that were supposed to be like sugar cookie type things, right? Like chocolate chip sugar cookies. And whatever she did to the batter made it just turn into mush. And they like all...
She probably added too much butter.
They all flattened out and just became bubbling spheres. And then she like took a bite out of it and it like cracked when she bit it. And she's like, oh no. And then I took it and ate it and I was like, that's pretty good. And so she was like, well, I feel bad because I got like this huge cookie in the oven right now cooking. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And I went and I looked at the oven and there was like a cookie the size of a cake that was just bubbling. And then she tried to eat like a piece of that one. I was like, I don't like it. And then I just took a piece off and was like, I'm alright with this. So then child me just took like 2 tubs worth of cookies downstairs into my grandma's basement and just sat there playing The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and eating these cookies.
Where'd you come from?
Just downstairs.
And she was like mortified. She was like, these are bad. I've really fucked up. And she didn't say it at that in that term because we were young kids. But you know, she was like, I didn't do well. I was like, I don't know, I liked them, but I was the only person in the house that liked them.
I swear.
I read your mail. I know what's up.
Cookies and brownies. Like cake, if you add like too much oil or too much egg, like
on everything.
A discount.
In the end, it's still gonna be a cake.
I don't know how you supply your
like
parts.
When it bakes in like a shape of it's just gonna either be like super dense or like a little too soft and like greasy feeling, but it's like it's still a cake. Cookies are the one thing where like if you add too much butter or if you don't add enough like whatever, it's just gonna be a mess. Brownies too. I fucking hate making, like, if you ever go, can you make me brownies? I will going to make you boxed brownies, because I refuse to make brownies from scratch. I can't do them.
Where did this guy go? I can't hack him.
I don't want to die.
I did make, I'm good at cheesecake, but I don't think you like cheesecake, do you?
Police weren't issued? Oh, ow, fuck, God, ow. I might die. I might die. Was this because I hit somebody else by accident? I thought I only shot that man in the back of the head. Or was that unacceptable? I guess we'll see. Man, I keep running into these shitlords. Sorry, do I like what?
Cheesecake.
Yeah, I'm fine with cheesecake.
Oh, then I'll make you blueberry cheesecake.
That's like that's one of the ones where it's like I like the end result, but I don't like the ingredients. Because my mom always gets mad. She's like, "You like cheesecake, yeah, but you don't like cream cheese, no." And she gets mad about it every time. I'm like, they're fundamentally different products.
Well, yeah, because like when you make cheesecake, you added butter, sugar, stuff where it's not gross. Because I don't like cream cheese by itself. It has to be like cream cheese with berries, and then I'm like, okay, this is fine. Because Mary, she used to just get a brick of cream cheese and eat it.
It's just downstairs.
And it was vile.
Want to talk about?
I finally made
like,
one of those.
We're gonna take this guy's deal just because he sells things.
What the fuck are they called? Like the.
I don't even think he needs to. I don't even think he has anything really that's good for me.
I'm gonna pretend I don't see what's going on outside.
Oh yeah?
I'm just gonna pretend that I don't want to deal with that. But it's like the. I don't want to say Yule log, but I think that's what it is. It's like a flat cake and then you roll it and it has like the icing in it so it looks like a swirl. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't, but don't worry about it.
It's one of the. It's like a swirly cake, and it's like they're really big in Japan.
Don't worry about me not knowing
Okay.
about it.
I made one of those, and those were okay. It like crinkled because I didn't add enough. Excuse me, I didn't add enough oil to it, but yeah, who cares? My body's not going to be happy that I'm eating them. An hour before bed.
Yeah, it's probably not the best of ideas, but I mean, do as thou wilt, you know? Do as thou wilt, Chamberlain. Punching the ceiling is something I do on a regular basis. I mean, I've got no response to you on that one. I'm too spoiled with a tall ceiling at my dorm. Oh, is this like because you're used to it like that, so then you accidentally are doing that, or like what's the? I've had a few situations like that where like my mom is a quite short person. And so, as a result, the ceiling fan, dangly doodahs, the chains that you pull on, they're like really low, and I bang my head off them all the time. And I'm not even tall.
I have to get. In order for me to reach some of the things in my cupboards, I have to use tongs. Actually, to reach two of my cupboards, I have to use tongs to open it up.
You know what's like a really confusing thing about humans? For most humans, for most men, that man dodged into my bike, and then now I'm charged with a crime because he decided to smack it. Like, I just got... Fuck off. God damn it, sorry, hold on.
You're fine. Actually, hold that thought. I want some milk.
Did I complete the job? I completed the job, okay.
I want milk with my chocolate soup.
What a stupid fucking problem that just happened. I'm so mad about that. It distracted me and everything from like a point of discussion. Absolutely the dumbest. Alright, let's see if we can just outrun these capos. Ow. Oh! Oh, they got me! Oh god, they actually really got me at the end there. That was not a pleasant experience, is what I'll say. Also, I'm sorry. Bending over to go into the shower? How tall are you? Okay, so you're just a huge person.
I've returned. Also, you probably only have me for about half.
For about half, got it.
An hour. Because I have to work tomorrow. Are you okay? My little crackhead?
And that is one orange gone. Wouldn't say huge. I mean, fair enough, but like 6'4" is definitely well above average of a human height.
I wish I was 6'4".
The male average here is around 6. I mean, you are in, you know, like a part of the world where the average human male is usually taller than the rest of the world. Why Scandinavia be like that? It's like the two areas where people are like taller is like South Africa and Scandinavia, and it's like the complete polar opposites of the world. It's like the blackest black people and the whitest white people, and those are the two heights. It's also the average where we drink the most milk in the world. I mean, well, then I got robbed. And Edward Elric continues to be an idiot.
Cream, V. Exactly the tech I wanted. Thanks. Get closed.
I forget. Ed was like 16 at the end of that series, right?
Were you asking me a question? I got distracted.
Yes.
Twitter.
It was directed at you.
What?
I was saying Edward Elric was like 16 at the end of Full Metal Alchemist, right?
I think so, because at the beginning I think he was 14.
Yeah, so like, either way, he wasn't done growing, basically.
No.
Because I was...
But he was still too short for what, like, is considered to be his age bracket. Because he's, like, my height, I think.
But, like, what I was going to say is, I remember the beginning of the series was, like, he was much shorter than Winry. And then the end of the series, he was about the same height as Winry. And then the last episode, he was about a half a head over Winry.
Yeah.
So he grew. He got pretty big, actually.
But I also think it was, like, weird alchemy bullshit something in the series something.
I don't know. I think that was just bad luck. Because he ended up being, like, Hohenheim sized almost.
Can we just talk about
But yeah, no,
my
like,
attraction?
Scandinavia, man, like, people get huge over there. Your attraction to Hohenheim?
Oh yeah.
Well, again, like, I think he's the only anime dad
Also,
that
wait.
looks like a dad, right?
Yeah. First off, Scandinavian men are just...
They come in...
And women.
They come in two varieties.
And both are amazing. I would pay... If I was single, I would pay money to just have a Scandinavian man or woman kick me in the jaw. Like...
Not feeling that one.
Listen, and it's... The hair... and the bone structure. You know how, like, all British men have the bone structure of a lizard alien?
Not all of them, but you can usually tell some of them, yeah.
Most. If someone has that facial structure, like
the Benedict Cumberbatch.
You're British. Yeah. If you can always tell a man is Scandinavian because, like, the jawline is just so sharp and broad, and the cheekbones and the
like, obviously, this goes without saying that some don't have that.
Yeah, obviously some don't, but
like the guy that I watched do Warhammer painting, right? He's very obviously Scandinavian, but he doesn't have like the super defined face. He just has like the hair and the like general complexion, where you're like, this is clearly a person who is not just a North American resident. He clearly is from an area where, you know, the environment is a little bit different. Some of us are
always,
just generic 6-foot+ white people with blonde hair and blue eyes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like that's. Mwah.
You guys are all descended of the Nordic aliens,
I've never.
which is another conspiracy that I'm particularly a fan of.
I've never seen. Like, I mean, okay, obviously it's like there's gonna be hideous people no matter where you're at, but I've never seen like an unattractive. I thought my cat was playing with the candle. About to shit myself. I've never seen an unattractive.
There's unattractive people everywhere.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying there is unattractive.
But
people
here's the
everywhere.
caveat. I also am one of those people who's like, you know, like in hentai, like the fat bastard. I also find those people attractive.
There's a whole thing. So, like, I feel like I need to summon Easy out of the void to have a discussion with us on a stream about this, because he very much, like, he gets weirdly defensive in regards to like the ugly bastard trope and like the cheating porn. And it always is really weird to me, because it's just like, why do you care?
Wait,
right?
like he doesn't like it? Like
no,
he
no,
hates
no,
it?
no. Like he's like people hate on it so much. I don't get it. It's good. And I'm like, what? But he also used to, and like his story in life is really fucking wild, because like
he used to be overweight and then is like sick other.
No, it's the other. He used to be jacked. He used to be like super fit buffman in high school, and then his girlfriend cheated on him. And then he found out that his girlfriend was dating this, like, really fat dork man, and he was just like, what the fuck?
What's the point?
And so he just let himself go.
I don't blame him. I mean...
I kind of do. Because here's the thing.
I don't...
Why not do the thing where you get the best of the both, right? Where you have the punch, but also the strong arms.
Really would do whatever makes you happy. You'll find someone who finds you. But... I love the fat or ugly bastard porn, and I don't know why. I think it's because 9 times out of 10, the ugly porn, it's a fat guy, but his dick is huge. They always have a big dick.
Which is really funny, because that's not how that works.
Like, I mean, I've been with a couple of dudes who, like, have a gut, but they have, like, a bigger dick than normal.
But I mean, like...
Usually the fat
losing
takes
a
an
little
interest.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, usually the fat takes an interest away. But, like, I don't know why. And, like, maybe that's the... Like,
very
they're
rarely
fat.
see an overweight person here. Yeah, so, like, you guys have a way less fat people on the whole. And when you do, they tend to be old. Older is what I'll say. Like, when I look at...
or they have, like, a health condition.
When I look at Scandinavia a lot of the time, and a lot of parts of Northern Europe, there's a lot less obesity, but there's a lot more fat old people. And I think it just becomes you're less active, so you're more inclined to sit around. Whereas,
well, but here's the thing.
in a lot of the rest of the world, it's just bad diet.
Once you hit, like, a certain age, I feel like you caring.
Yeah.
Like, you can continue to care if you want. But, like, if you're like, I'm 50, like, if you're like, I'm 56, 55, and I want to start slowing it down, fuck it. It's like, alright, cool. You're like, you've lived half your life, dude. Go ahead.
Most people are either average, skinny, or jacked as shit. Yeah. Well, here's the thing that a lot of people don't acknowledge. And I'm not saying this towards you, of course, or anybody involved in the discussion. A big thing is, why am I getting problems with my brain? Johnny? Are we gonna be good?
I don't know if the discussion of are we fat or not has come across, but like I just ate an entire thing of cake batter.
Yeah, but no, like
because I'm depressed.
What I was gonna say is there's a thing called like skinny fat, and what people usually attribute that to is a skinny guy with a bit of punch, like kind of like Shepherd, right? But what it actually is that you are skinny, but you don't realize that you have a lot of fat carried on you because you don't physically show it. Because there are a lot of people who are actually really unhealthy because of the amount of fat cells in them compared to being skinny still. And it's like, I hate the human body because you're basically saying that you can still be a fat person and dramatically unhealthy without seeing
and
it.
still look. Yeah. Well, that's why it's like I don't know.
It's fucked up.
I'm all about like body positivity, like do what makes you happy, but like also do like what's going to help you live the longest.
I do just still like I don't mean to go back to the like the hentai thing, but like I just find it so funny every time that it just comes to the point of like, yeah, you have the option presented before you of a tall, stereotypically handsome man and this creepy fat dude, and you're just like, give me the creepy fat old man. Like, grabby hands at the weird one, and everybody's just like, why?
Coming from,
I mean, I can't complain because gestures broadly towards myself. Creepy fat person, and getting progressively older.
which I'm happy about. But I think, and here's the thing. That's a spider on the wall. As a bigger person myself, I like when I'm before we were dating and like I'd go like clubbing or whatever the fuck. Like if I was approached by like a skinny guy or like a buff guy, I'd be like, oh, someone like paid you, like I dare you to go ask the fat girl like to dance or something. But like if a dude came up and he was a little bit chubbier or he was just bigger, it's like, oh, sure, this is fine.
He's
like,
punching in the right weight class, literally.
Yeah, it's like oh, like you also have a gut, like this is completely fine, I don't care. Like I feel like not safe, but like I feel comfortable talking. And I feel like a lot of women have, not all women, but a lot of women have that mindset of like, here are two men. Would you rather, well, that's what you get for being stupid, kitty. Would you rather go with this dude who has like 6-pack abs and action is like fucking whoever the fuck, Chris Pine? Like, would you rather fuck him? Or would you rather fuck this dude?
Pine. Just what a pick.
Chris Pine's attractive. Or would you rather fuck this guy who looks like Ian McShane, who's just this fat old guy?
Well, hold on. I need to roll back. Do you mean Chris Pine or Chris Pratt?
Chris Pine. Chris Pine's attractive.
You mean Captain Kirk?
Is
Modern Captain Kirk. Or are you meaning Captain Kirk or Star-Lord?
Chris Pine! Chris Pine. I don't know.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, smooth face.
Perfect jaw.
He's
yeah.
in not Iron Man, Wonder Woman. Okay, it's just most people don't.
Most
people don't think about him. Most people don't like him.
He was just the first guy that came to mind. I was like, typical blonde hair, blue-eyed buff guy. Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're right. Sorry.
Doesn't matter. Big buff guy or like a slightly older creepy fat guy. Most women will go, or not creepy. Let's take the creep factor. And
that's
go like,
yeah, that's mean to you, mean McShane.
Yeah, it's like both are very nice. One's just slightly older and kind of fat. The other one, skinny buff guy. Most women be like, we want to fuck. Obviously, like I would want to fuck this 6-pack abs guy, but it's like. Because all women have that thing, like, even if they're have a beautiful body, like, I'm still fat, I'm not pretty enough for that, blah, blah, blah. Women's standards are so low. Because we just, and not all women, most friends and women that I've spoken with,
see,
their standards are significantly...
you to sit in a room with an incel. Because, here's the thing, incels have...
Incels are a different breed.
And I say this like knowing fully well that I can get in trouble now on Twitch using the word incel.
I don't fucking care.
But here's the thing. This is the reason I bring it up. They have a belief in what they call the sub-8 male. And it is that any man that isn't an 8 or higher, women will only go out with on a pity or because they have no better options. And I'm like, that doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
No. Women, like, if you
Women's
put it, like,
standards are
if you...
incredibly low.
Super low.
It's literally
Super
don't
low.
physically assault me.
Here's the thing, like,
Not every
even
woman,
when it comes,
obviously, but you know.
Obviously. We're speaking broad spectrum. And this is coming from a woman who's spoken with many women and has female friends, blah, blah, blah. We feel more comfortable being with a guy who, like, I don't want to say is, like, below our like, if we're, like, a 6, it's like, I'd be okay dating a guy who's, like...
You want to be the more attractive person in the relationship.
Just because it's, like, a comfort thing.
It makes you feel better, and it makes you feel that person's not going to get stolen by somebody else.
Thankfully, I think you are both physically more attractive than I am, and, like, mentally better off than I am. But I'm saying women as a whole would be like, we would feel more comfortable with this. With the slightly, I don't think I'm cute, and Tyler knows that. As he gets older, I'm excited. Like, when he hits 50, it's like...
As we have established, though, she definitely is into the ugly bastard thing, so it's a mixed bag on that.
But, like, the, fuck are you looking at? Fuck, I don't care. But, like, women feel more comfortable with, like, we feel more comfortable with the fat guy, or, like, the older guy, because, like...
There's been a lot of tests done with this sort of stuff.
Like, I have a friend, she's super skinny, she's super skinny, long, blonde hair, like, hourglass figure, gorgeous. And she's dating a dude with, like, a receding hairline, who's, like, 60 pounds weight, has, like, a patchy beard, and she's just, like, it's comfortable to be around him. It's, like, it's almost like guys who are huge and jacked. When you look at that, you're like, you are going to want somebody who's, like, super fit.
Well, also, what I've heard from one person, so obviously, you know, this is a big case of one guy, right? Not a...
Yeah.
And by one guy, I don't mean, like, a guy, but, like, the term one guy is in, like, one person talking in the chat sort of thing.
Yeah.
One person has said to me previously that, like, their whole thing was basically just, like, for lack of better words... They don't need to worry that guy is, going to prioritize spending like 6 hours at the gym than with them.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like you feel like a guy who, like, looks like, you know, those big actors. It's like they're going to be, it's like, everything's
I'm
about
sorry.
appearance
Did this just
and health.
bug out and not... Am I gonna have to reset because of this? Look at this shit.
Like, here's the thing, if you like started going to the gym a lot and got, like, bulked up, had 6-pack abs, it's like, I would feel worried. Like, do I need to start doing that too? Or because would you leave me for a woman who is, like, going to the gym, like, I don't want to say I don't take care of myself, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, going to the gym is super skinny, like, I'd be worried about that. So when you get somebody who's just, like, dad bod, that's why women love...
Yeah, well, that was one of the tests that was performed, which was basically just showing 2 shirtless dudes. One who is kind of chubby and a bit hairy, and the other one who's, like, everything shaved smooth, has, like, all the abs and stuff, right?
Yeah, and the guy with the abs is fun to look at.
Yeah, the general assessment that came from most people is, well, that guy's fun to watch, but it doesn't really do anything majorly different. Like, basically the argument that usually happens, and this is a thing that I've had to, like, smack easy with a lot of the time, because he has in his head, because he has some of, like, the, like, semi-incel-y type mentalities, where he's just,
I've
like,
noticed.
Yeah, like, well, women only want this sort of thing. I'm like, humans are varied and many, dude. They all have different opinions on what they're interested in, right? Like, a lot of people will just look at the, like, sort of out-of-shape guy and just be like, yeah, it's just a dude. And then they'll look at the Jack guy and they're like, that's just a dude. And it basically comes down to preference. But they'll be like, that guy's like fun to look at, but that's it. It's not substance. There's nothing. It doesn't add anything basically. So unless you're a really finicky person that really does something for.
Again, you're like a health. I don't want to say a health nut, but like
if you're a person that appreciates people that are in shape more, then you'll care. Yeah,
which is fine to me. It's like that's fine. But most women I've spoken with, it's like the guy who's super buff, or even the woman who is like super in shape. It's like it's like fun. They're fun to watch, like prance around in the gym or doll up. Like that lady Wooly
keeps on retweeting.
Yeah,
the buff one.
But it's like if you had to pick one of those people to be in a relationship with, it's like fat guy. Because I mean, I've dated guys who were like bulky, like like the big arm, and it's like it's like you're really cool to look at, but like I feel uncomfortable that I'm not like a twig. Like, are you using me to get reps in? That's what I'm worried about. So basically what I'm saying is never get bulky, never bulk up, always stay chubby. It's kind of why I always want to have like a belly. It doesn't have to be a big belly, but like, always a belly.
The working out that I want to do, it's basically like, I don't think I'm ever going to get it all away from the gut, but like I just want to have like stronger arms again, but I don't want to be like one of those guys that's like, I gotta lift.
Yeah.
That's not something I'm super keen on.
You just do it when you can.
Did I bork this up?
Like, I don't like to, especially because COVID, but like gyms scare me. But I do the whole, not days like work, because fuck that. But when I have days off, I do yoga in the morning. I do an hour and a half of yoga every morning.
Honestly, like, I'm always just surprised by the variance of things. That's all. Please don't glitch out. Please don't glitch out. Please don't glitch out. Please don't glitch out. Did it do it again?
I wonder how preferences start. Like,
how?
Is it like where you grow up kind of picture preferences? Because it's like, I mean, because it's like my parents are like Republican, straight, only white people, and here I am like, well, I like everything.
Like gender preference is inborn. It's innate. It's in you. You might not be aware of it, but you'll start to grow into it. Like when you ask people that are interested in that sort of stuff, it's just like, oh, are you interested in men or women? Usually they'll be able to tell from a very early age. They might just not know if they've been like stifled or whatever, right? But that's a whole different can of worms. But like for other things, like sometimes it can be learned, sometimes it can just be innate.
How do fetishes?
Again, sometimes it's learned, sometimes it's innate. Because again, like I would definitely
part of your brain? What part of your brain is like women in heels stepping on my balls really doesn't?
See, that's an exposure thing, I think. Like you see those things exist, and you're like, yeah, I like that. Whereas for other people, where it's like inextricably tied to like violence, that's just idiot.
Okay. I gotcha.
Also, yeah, only preference really is just don't be a bitch. Like that's, I always joke about it, but like my only real metric for a relationship is like, can we tolerate one another? Will this go bad? Kind of thing.
Yeah, which is really like, I don't want to say it hurts my feelings sometimes. But
this is so bugged.
But like when you describe me and you go, she's fat. Like, I know I am, but you don't have to say that. You're like, well, I love you. Okay.
Yeah, no, don't feel bad about it. Just because I'm just... Here's the thing. I understand if it hurts. I do apologize about that. But you also have to understand that I am just a painfully honest person. And
yeah, it does. It used to make me very sad. Now I'm just like that.
He's just an asshole.
Just like, I get it.
You watch a cartoon when you're 6 and you see something innocent seeming, you fixate on it for 2 decades. Also, this bug. I feel like you've just described a bunch of people that grew up watching Totally Spies, right? Like Like,
Yeah,
somebody grew up watching Totally Spies, and they were like, yeah, that episode where they turned into cat girls really did it for me.
that episode where they inflated really did.
I hate that. I hate that one so much.
I honestly think that's where it started.
Here's one of my problems. Well, no, it existed well before that, but that's what did widespread move it around a bit. One of my reasons for being so belligerent about that one recently is because one of the people that I follow on Twitter keeps posting it.
Ugh.
Or just, like, they're really into, like, those DeviantArt level fat people drawings, and I'm like, please stop posting
That's
these.
what I was. That's what people have been asking me to animate.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
That's why I'm bringing it back.
What's a besides
Side note,
like
feet are
the
disgusting.
weird?
I don't think feet are disgusting, but I think it can definitely enter a realm where it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, if somebody obsesses over feet, I was just about to ask, what is a fetish you don't understand besides like the inflation? Because obviously,
I actually can't complete this quest.
like what is a fetish for when someone says they have that fetish, or like what?
I think we'll come back and try and finish this later. I'm stuck in the Delamain HQ? Oh no. I don't like that we're both having problems. Sorry, you were saying though?
What's a fetish besides the inflation thing and like scat and like puke? That when you hear about it, you're kind of like, what? Because obviously, all of those things are like, what?
I mean, it's bad to say, but also just, like, you know, because I don't like to be too transparent about, like, my own particulars, but, like, pretty much anything that I would be classified as also makes me go, what? Because it just makes me, it's that whole thing of, like, in my brain, I understand that a lot of my stuff comes from, like, a really fucked up place of just, like, you know, like, power stuff. Vor and identity death. I'm sorry, identity death is a new one. Please tell me about that.
Identity death? Oh, is that when someone has like multiple personalities, kill one, and someone gets turned on by it?
This sounds like wipe my personality. Also, Vor is definitely one I don't get either.
Eyeball licking is one thing I don't understand.
I just teleported through that. When I discovered about that one, it made me laugh really hard because I just sent a gif of it to Shepard and he was like, why?
Like, it grosses me out a little, but I'm just like, how
well,
does
it's also
that
damaging to your eyes.
Yeah, it's like, how does that get your rocks off? I don't understand it. I know this is gonna be weird, but like...
As if this whole discussion isn't.
Like, when people, like... When they have a fetish for people that are, like, plastic. Like, I want my woman, my guy to be, like...
No, like, I might hate people, but please keep them being flesh bodies.
Like, but you know what I mean?
At the most,
like,
cybernetics.
Like, I want, like, size F titties, and they have to get, like, they're filled with silicone, or, like, this woman had, like,
really crazy, like, bimbo shit.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. That weirds me out.
Alright, we're gonna try this once more. And if this doesn't work...
People who are, like, I married balloon animal and I fuck that weird. Because it's like, that's not a... You're not fucking it. It's a toy that you're masturbating with.
Alright, this one's just completely fucked.
Did they say what identity death was?
No!
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's just, we're back to the Misty thing, like, where Misty didn't answer, and then we just, fine, keep your secrets. We really went from Scandinavians are attractive to this. I mean, yeah, of course. That's the natural progression, right? You go from, this physical archetype is attractive. Why am I attracted to this? What else are people attracted to? Why are people attracted to this?
I can't find identity death. It's just my girlfriend and I want to kill each other.
Hold on. I'll take a look. I'll pull up some cursed info. Gotta go into incognito, of course.
I'm not in incognito mode.
Well, it pulled up ego death, which is a thing that I'm aware of. Because ego death is like it's like a spiritual slash psychological thing. Like experiencing ego death is like part of the loss of like parts of yourself, but in like a good way, because you're giving up like, you know, essentially usually harmful parts to you, but not always. Like imagine you existing without an ego.
I don't have an ego, I don't think.
I mean, everybody always has one.
I can't find it, and the fact that I'm not saying anything really makes.
One of the best things I've ever been told was after I dyed my hair, I chose to bleach my hair, then dye it split, so jet black on the left side, bleach blonde on the right. The Space Marine approach. That is a that is a comic book move. We really we went from Rachel's abusive, maybe insane dad to Scandinavian talk to fetish talk. There was a lot in between there too.
Did they say what the fuck identity death was?
No. We have not received any elaboration. If you know, please call this number to inform us as to what the current definition of that means.
Yeah, because I can't find anything.
I'm sorry, Angels of Redemption. Oh, the Warhammer thing. Yeah. When I went to my friend, he went, "Oh, so now I can't figure out your sexuality at all, but at least you're bi with that." Probably should clarify ego. Yeah, don't worry about it. All because of my hair color. People be weird, man. I haven't used a gun in a while in this game. Definitely feels weird now.
I don't understand the ball crushing thing. Like, I guess I do to a point.
Honey, it's time
like,
for your 4 p.m. ball crushing.
Because, I mean, like... Like, if someone was ever like, I'm gonna step on your head, I'd be like, alright.
Sound?
Please.
You know,
But, like... like, if you guys sit on... What's wrong? Like, cripple and like, curl... Like, it has to be excruciating.
I love just me being like, what is that sound? And then I see the mine and I'm like, oh, and then it explodes like perfectly. Perfect cinematography. And that I want to point out, that's a joke that has been made about white people in horror movies. And it's, why do you always go towards the sound? And it's like, I'm hearing a thing and I'm like, this is probably gonna kill me, isn't it? And then it does it. Oh, my quick save is the explosion! That kills me! Fuck! God damn it. Yeah, no, I mean, like, I get it, but I don't get it because, again, like, sadomasochism, I understand. Like, on an empirical level, I get it, but as a man, I don't really. I've had instances of, like, sitting on my testicles, which are uncomfortable.
It's gotta hurt, right?
Yes, it's not pleasant.
I wish I had a dick for a day, because that's the first thing I do, is, like, I want
the first thing I do is make myself suffer extremely and possibly not be able to enjoy the rest of my day.
Like, I just want to know what it feels like.
It's the same with He's Got Big Balls when you just pray, like, damn, bigger balls would be more area to fully cripple me. Well, it actually is, like, a weird thing where people, like, equate having large testicles with the idea of fertility, but in a lot of cases, smaller testicles actually ensure better fertility because they're more confined space, which means that it's more, like, proper, like, in terms of, like, heat regulation and etc. Because cold or hot can make things bad there. Which is a weird thing to say, I know, but... In ancient Greece, they said the smarter you are, the smaller the dick is. Good thing I'm dumb as fuck. I mean, the thing is, the ancient Greeks didn't equate it with intelligence, they equated it with civility. Like, how civilized your society was meant that you had smaller PVs. But it still begs a strange question, though. Because the Greeks were like, yeah, man, smaller your dick is, the more civilized your society. But then people were still just like, man, that guy's got a huge penis when they did graffiti on the walls and shit. Like, make up your minds. Which just goes to show that, like, humans never have been able to come to a good conclusion. Because guess what? We're back on the topic of people like different things.
Yeah.
Because
big dicks are scary.
Well, and I think it comes back to that same topic of before, which is just, and people like to look at it.
Yeah, like, I like this dick going. But if
You
it
got
was mine,
a
I'd be like,
9-inch hog of a goddamn caveman. Well, even more interesting though is, technically speaking, if you want to be really specific about it, smaller would indicate less civilization, because humans actually have the largest penis size in primates. I hit the mine again. In the same spot, I hit the stupid mine again. How did I do that? Low IQ moment from me, otherwise. That mine got your name on it, apparently. Yeah, no, but, like, humans are, like, right up there, and I think it's, like, bonobos are, like, number 2. I don't know. I don't remember what the other ape is.
It also depends on where you're located, because they did, like, a study to see, like, what the average penis size was, and, like...
It doesn't vary that much, though. Like, people like to use that study, and it's very funny.
Most... Here.
It was, like, the biggest difference was, like, an extra, like, inch to half an inch.
Yeah. Because most guys' dicks are, like, 5 inches.
The average amongst the human population is about 5.5. The... like, higher end of that spectrum was, like, people getting, like, a 6.
Apparently,
to, like, a 6.5.
Apparently people in Ecuador have the biggest PP on average.
Yeah, and then
there's,
it's all
in centimeters. I don't fucking...
There's also, like, weird areas that skew that, because, like... And this is one of those, like, we're going back to Europe/Scandinavia. But, like, this isn't Scandinavia. It is definitely south of Scandinavia. But, like...
Yo, where the fuck is the US in this?
Like, completely average.
No, like, I'm just gonna... number 1 is Ecuador. Number 2 is... Cameroon?
Cameroon.
Yeah. Cameroon. Bolivia, Sudan, Haiti, Gambia, Netherlands, Cuba.
Yeah, see, and that's where I was gonna go, is the Netherlands thing. Is like, there's this weird, there's a weird thing that happens where, like, for some reason people just assumed
15.87.
Like, people got into, like, this really weird mindset for a while where they were just like, yeah, man, like, all white people, they all got small penises. But, like, one of the weirdest, like, pervasive mythoses is that, like, Polish guys are all, like, really big dicks. And I don't get it.
Yeah. So it's, like, on average, 6.24.
And that's not even that big.
No, it's average. I want to know where America list.
I think America was around the 5.5 mark.
You know, because they listed it in, like, biggest to smallest.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cambodia. 10.04. Let's see what's up.
Somebody screamed their lungs out in the game. Hang on, loser. I'm hacking the goddamn laundry machine to get my clothes warmer than average.
Cambodia. Their average PP size is 3.9 inches.
Yeah, that's a bit rough. But also,
that's a bit rough.
Here's the thing, though. Does
United
that indicate
States is 60.
the human for, like, the women's side as well?
That's true. Yeah. Wow. People, yo, you asked, we talk about how big our dicks are, but we're rated 60 on this list.
I won't lie, I'm
Pussies.
one of the guys that just never measures that shit. Yeah, I don't get it either, honestly. Like, I've tried and I can't ever get, like, a consistent result. And I've only tried because I was like, people keep making a big fuss about this. And it's, like, slightly different between days or, like, again, how fat I am. So.
Also, it depends on how aroused the person is, too.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Because, like, a woman, and people fail to realize this, a woman's vagina does, like,
It moves around a little bit.
It expands when they're aroused.
It also contracts.
It also contracts. And if you're going to fuck a bitch and her cervix is a little bit tilted or like shifted, it means that her body's ready to get pregnant.
Or
Don't
is
fuck her
just
without a
kind of fucked
condom.
up.
Or in my case, it's just kind of fucked up. I once had a conversation with a person, like a friend, and he didn't realize that like a woman was supposed to be wet when you entered her.
What? Well, actually, no, hold on. I'm gonna roll this back. No, that makes sense. You're Americans.
Yeah, you have to remember we're Americans. Our sexual education is lacking.
Big oof to that lady. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He was telling me, he's like, try to have some time, and he just like went to stick it in. No, like prior anything, and he was like, she said it super hurt, and like she wouldn't let him like continue. She was like, no, we're not doing this right now. Like, give it another try another time. And he thought it was like, she was like, oh, she must have been on her period or something. And I'm like, well, did you like, you know, get her going? Like, you have to, like, I don't want to say it's real easy for a dude. It's like, it's real easy for a dude to get a boner. You gotta work the lady up so she's always down there, dude. Like,
Even
what do
then,
you mean?
it's
I'm
not
like,
always that easy either.
no. But it's like, you have to like
easier.
look at it. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, she's supposed to be wet. Like, lubricated. Like, the vagina is self-lubricating. He's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm like,
I mean, some people do have an actual medical problem with that, though.
They do, but normally a woman will tell her, like, hey, sometimes I have a dry vagina, but there's this wonderful thing called lube.
No.
A woman would never go into a situation where she's like, I'm not gonna tell this guy that my vagina is dry and just stick it in. Like, no. Never.
I think I'm in the same mission as you were. Well, enjoy it potentially working or not working.
Tell me, or I shoot.
I mean, I am a corpo, but apparently not.
Not a fucking suit. Name's
I used to
Pete.
be a suit. This
Vegeta
character
sent
did
me.
used to be a suit.
So,
Vegeta.
these countries typically have a 6.3 to 8.9 inch PP.
Yeah, see, the 8 is definitely an insane one.
It's Bolivia, Brazil,
Your interview on the way up.
Colombia, Congo, Ecuador,
Bolivia.
Haiti, Hungary, Jamaica, which that one,
Whoops.
Panama, Peru, Puerto Rico, Sudan, and Venezuela.
Bolivia.
5.6 to 6.2 inches. Argentina, Australia, Belgium. Basically,
Why
all
all
of your
these South Americans?
yeah. Greece, Hungary. Okay. All right.
Why the
So like
suicide
Sweden,
force?
Switzerland. Yeah. Okay. Orange.
So you wouldn't
I like
die
how they
anyway,
rated like
but on my own terms.
like the green is like the 6 whatever to the fucking 8-inch dicks.
When I go,
It's like a woman would cry.
tell Richie.
The vagina has an ending.
Curious, what is the average for Denmark?
Let me try to.
That loaded.
Denmark's average is 6.7 inches,
What the fuck?
which like good job, Denmark.
Here's my question though: how much of this is self-reporting versus actual
There's a
measurement?
death warrant out for you.
Let's see here.
Because they ran this test once years and years and
Yeah,
years
I
ago
can
in
give a
America,
shit,
and they
too.
found people were lying by
Eugene
about
wants
half
to
an
help
inch.
you out. Help me out? She's the one who needs help.
Apparently, for this thing that I'm reading right now, they had people like go into like a thing, and they had a medical professional measure
Okay,
their.
okay. That's all that matters now.
Yeah, yeah.
I still doubt that it's the legitimate average, but it's probably like of the people we managed to convince to come
managed,
here.
yeah, and get a boner.
Because I do think that you are going to get less people who are on a smaller end of the spectrum to self-report.
Korea sitting there with a 8 pp. Sorry, guys. That sucks.
Here's the thing. Everybody always makes fun of Asian people because they're like, Asian people have smaller penises than average, right?
But their women are also very small.
But ignoring that, do you not see their population numbers?
Doesn't it bother you?
Oh yeah, they're fucking.
Like, clearly it doesn't matter.
Cover-ups.
But you also have to remember, like...
I'm 6'3" with an 8-inch dick, actually 5'9" at that least 4.5 hard. Yeah. Small dick,
like,
sure, but they be breeding like rabbits. Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, you have to... And maybe this is... Hear me out, and maybe this thought makes sense. I gotta go to bed, because I have to work.
So why do that
Japan's only having problems there from a societal aspect, though. Like, they're still having sex like crazy. They're just not having kids.
Yeah. Like, if you look at, like, let's just take...
Yeah, it's like...
Let's just take Korea for... Okay.
It's like 12 here.
We're gonna round it up and say a 4-inch people.
Yeah.
That might be small for... Let's just say Americans. For the most part, a lot bigger in the like body aspect than a very small Japanese. But for a Japanese man to have intercourse with another Japanese man or a Japanese woman who are typically very small, very petite, it fits. You know what I mean? It's like, like for that body size, I feel like a 4-inch. Okay, like I'd be really, I don't want to say weirded out, I'd be impressed, but I'd be really worried if like a 5-foot Asian guy walked out with like a 10-inch dick. I feel like that's not normal.
I gotta bring this up because it's a complete segue, but it's something that I think you'll find hilarious. Japan gives 0 fucks about their television. Like, they will air anything.
And it's great, usually.
And so you get those, like... You get those things where, like, for, like, the porn stuff, they always have the joke of, like, the game show, but it's, like, a porn game show. But it's just, it's still a porn at the end of the day. It's not aired on TV, right? Mm-hmm. But you know what they did air on TV? They did air a man who claimed that he could, like, withstand coming however long, right? And that he was totally straight and could never be made to ejaculate by a man getting his dick sucked under a sheet by a homosexual Japanese porn star.
Please tell me he just got off.
Yeah, the guy was like, I will make you get off within X period of time or else whatever. And, like, the guy goes underneath the sheet. And they kept the lav mic on him the whole time, so you're hearing it. And the Japanese people are sitting there giggling and laughing in the studio. And I'm like, how did this air on daytime television? And, like, I get that you don't see anything, but you get my point of how, right? And so, like, the guy does.
The US would never.
And after the completion of the event... The other guy pops out of the weird little, like, cloth bin area that he was in, and then just, like, wipes his face and looks at the camera. Like, if I can find that video, I will send that to you. But it is simultaneously, like, one of the most cursed and funny things to watch, because the whole time... It does that thing that Japanese TV does, which is having a face cam of the guys back at the studio reacting to it. And, like, everybody is just laughing and... No, like, they did it in, like, a fucking warehouse. Because it's Japan. They have to be as sketchy as possible about this shit. So it was done at like a goddamn warehouse where they set up like a little area for them to do this, and then they broadcast it to the people back at the studio. And the people at the studio were just sitting there watching, and they had like, again, you've seen Japanese and Korean shows. Whenever they do like a react thing, they always have the face cam in the corner switching between the different actors.
Yeah. Yep.
And so that's all it was that. And it's just
That's
them
so
watching this dude do this, and like some porno man do that. And I can't believe.
Listen, he must have done a good job.
I don't know. I feel like if you just keep stimulating, it will happen eventually. Unless the guy goes completely soft. But also, I don't believe most people when they say that they're 100% straight anyway.
I don't either. Everybody's a little bit gay.
No, not everybody, but I think that like a larger amount than is perceived. Because the general statistic is 10% of people are bisexual or gay. And it's like, I don't believe you. Because the Roman and Greek society existed.
What are you staring at? You old Do you just not like the creepy doll that I own?
I can understand your cat not liking a creepy doll.
She just keeps staring at the dude.
It might be unsettling to them.
Dude, you see that doll all the time.
All I can think of now is the McElroy
Is that doll
Brothers, where Justin just goes boop 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 haunted doll watch.